Good day, everyone. My name is Agnes C. Sanchez, together with Ms. Dainty Malia Isquera, and today we will discuss about Macrae's and Costa five-factor trait theory. So, overview of trait and factor theories. Raymond B. Cattell found many more personality traits. Hans J. Eysenck insisted that only three major factors. The five-factor theory, often called the Big Five, includes the neuroticism and extroversion, but it adds an openness to experience and agreeableness and consciousness. Traits can be measured by standardized tests through clinical observations, judgment of people around you, and self-report. So there's a collection of behavior observable. Factor analysis was used to mathematically imply that they do exist. And last is there have five traits that explain the behavior of personality. So, sa pag-aaral na ito is, ang approach kasi na ginawa ni Macrae and DaCosta is through mathematically because there are mahilig sila sa math. So, para daw maging unique, yung pag-aaral sa psychology, so nilagyan nila ito or ginamitan nilang ng approach ito through mathematics. And sabi rin dito that traits is observable and measurable. Later on, mag-discuss din natin yung five-factor theory, which is extroversion, neuroticism, openness, agreeableness, and consciousness. So next is the pioneering work of Raymond B. Cattell. So he went to the dictionary to look for adjective that will describe a person's characteristic, but his aim is to look for trait that is shared by all human beings. So si Cattell ay pinanganak siya sa England, and si Cattell din is in direct contact siya kay Costa and Macrae. So they share their ideas and techniques, even if they have a different approach. So, mathematically yung approach niya ni Cattell. So, the reason why he create the 16 PF or personality factors. Because masyado daw sikat or talamak yung mga theories na very common or rationalize yung perspective. So, for him, that kind of explanation is mahirap i-prove. So, siya yung a psychologist and mahilig nga siya sa mathematics. So, ginamit niya yon and to prove yung mga theories na meron siya or yung theories na sinasabi niya. So, and for legitimacy natin, kaya niya ginamitan ito ng mathematically. So, isa siya sa mga gumamit or isa siya sa unang gumamit ng statistic to prove their theories. So first, Macrae and Costa both use deductive and inductive method. So alam naman natin deductive and then the inductive method. So I know na encounter na natin dito sa statistic natin. So second is Cattell used different media of observations to examining people from as many angles as possible. So nag-prepare si Macrae ng different data na magdedetermine ng traits ng isang tao. So, based sa mga sagot nila sa question na pinipare nila, and gamit yung data na ginawa nila, dito malalaman nila kung yung isang tao ba is meron o walang ganong traits. So, first data is L data, or person's life. It derived from observations made by other people. So, ang nilalaman nito is yung questions na i-describe ng tao yung ibang tao. So, sa question na yun is, yung mga nilalaman ng items na yun is about dun sa ibang tao, hindi about sa sarili nila. Next is yung Q data, or self-reports obtained from questionnaires and other techniques designed to allow people to make subjective. So, ito yung sa sarili na natin. So, kung sa L data is dinidescribe nito or sinasagot natin yung mga tanong through sinasagot natin yung mga tanong na yun sa mga patungkol sa mga tao na nasa paligid natin. Ito namang Q data is about ourselves na. So, itong mga tanong or mga items na mababasa natin dito is about ourselves na. So, ayan. And the last is T-data. It's an objective test or measure performance such as intelligence, credit responding, and other such activity designed to challenge people's maximum performance derived from objective tests. Ito yung mga IQ tests, speech or responding, or etc. na may kinalaman sa mga intelligent tests. So, itong mga um, dito na to, manual siya ginagawa. Kasi noong mga panahon ngayon is wala pang mga Microsoft, or wala pang mga software, o mga, hindi pa ganun ka-digital. So, manual yung pagpa-factor analysis nila. So, pero ngayon, di ba, may mga software na, may mga iba-iba ng technologies or mga website na pwede natin siyang digital na yung pagpa-factor analysis. So, he divided the traits into two. Number one is common traits and the unique traits. So, yung common traits is shared by many, are characteristics that are common to many people and by which individual can be compared. So, ito yung mga, alam naman natin yan na common traits from the word common. Ito yung madalas natin nakikita or madali siyang makita sa mga tao. And yeah, it can be compared. Pwede natin i-compare yung traits na yon from the, pwede natin compare yung traits na yun sa ibang tao. And while the unique traits naman is the peculiar to one individual, the quality of being unlike in anything else of its kind or being solitary type or characteristic. So, ito nga yung unique traits. Ito yung mga traits na masasabi natin na tayo lang na merong ganong traits. And yun nga, hindi natin ito namamana from generation. So, pero si Cattell, mas nag-focus siya or mas interested siyang pag-aralan yung common traits. And while the unique traits naman is sinet aside niya lang ito or hindi niya kasi ito focus or wala siyang interesadong pag-aralan yung unique traits. He also classified traits into temperament, motivations, and ability. So let's define what is temperament, motivational, and ability. So temperament traits is how a person behaves. While motivational trait is why a person behaves, and ability trait is how far or how fast one can perform. So, sa tatlong ito is parang yung data din na nabanggit kanina, which is yung L, Q, and P. So, yung temperament traits is, let's say yung temperament is L data rin siya na magdi-describe ito sa ibang tao, not for yourself. While the motivational traits is why person behaves. So, tayo yon yung sa sarili natin, bakit tayo ganun mag-behave or bakit yung tanong na yun is yung items na nilalaman nun is about us, about ourselves. So, bakit tayo ganun ba't ganun yung behavior natin? And then, yung ability trait is how fast or how far one can perform. So, ito nga yung nasusukat nito yung ating yung speed, yung IQ test or mga responding or basta about sa ating intelligence or IQ test. Next is basics of factor analysis. Collection is statistical procedure to compute for an underlying factor that will describe a data set. So, gumawa sila ng 171 items and pinasugatan nila ito sa 1,000 people. So, these 1,000 data points for 171 items will be correlated to each other. So, example is yung sagot sa 1 and 2 are correlated or depending on the approach. So, some items will be correlated with each other and will form a cluster. So, ang approach na ginamit nila dito sa mga cluster nito are orthogonal or oblique rotation. So, here are the illustrations of orthogonal rotation or orthogonal rotations. So, orthogonal rotations is a score on the x variable increase. Scores on the y-axis may have any values. That is, they are completely unrelated to scores on the x-axis. So, ayan, makikita naman natin yung meron siyang meron siyang x and the y-axis. So, pag sinabi kasi natin orthogonal rotation, parang square lang siya. Diba nga sa illustration na makikita natin. Pa-square siya. And then, sabi dito na mas madaming nakukuwang factors yung orthogonal rotations kaysa sa oblique rotations. So, yung oblique is a method which was advocated by Cattell. It assumes some positive or negative correlations and refers to an angle of less than or more than 90 degrees. So, sa oblique naman is mas unti lang. Yung makikita nga natin na maliit lang siya. The goal is to have a cluster and titignan kung ilang factor yung mapuproduce. And this factor will consider as a trait. So, for example is yung 1 to 3 is highly correlated to each other, meaning is they are pertaining same factor, and factor can become trait, and this trait can be unipolar or bipolar. It is to use of factor analysis, one begins by making specific observations of many individuals. So these observations are then quantified in some manner. So here's the definitions of unipolar and bipolar. So, unipolar traits are scaled from 0 to some largest amount. When we say unipolar, pwedeng meron ka nito or wala ka. And usually, yung traits na ito is ang bihira lamang sa tao. So, when we say unique, so yun. Bipolar traits naman is extended from one pole to an opposite pole with 0 representing a midpoint. So, when we say bipolar, meron siyang two sides, extroversion and then introversions. So, when we say introversion versus extroversions, it's a liberalism versus conservatism, and social ecstasy versus timidity are examples of bipolar traits. In order for mathematically derived factors to have a psychological meaning, the axes on which the score are plotted are usually turned or rotated into a specific mathematically relationship with each for virtually the same. Other, these rotations can be either orthogonal or oblique. So, next is the 5 factors. So, ang nag-develop para maging theory ito is si Costal and si Macrae. Although, may mas nauna sa kanila. Pero mas nakilala silang sila through this theory because mas maayos yung paggamit nila and very unique daw yung paggamit nila or yung pag-approach nila dito, which is mathematical. So, first is neuroticism. It is tend to be anxious, temperamental, self-pitying, self-conscious, emotional, and vulnerable to stress-related disorders. Those who score low on neuroticism or N are usually calm, even-tempered, and self-satisfied, and unemotional. So, emotional stability is yung pagiging emotional ng isang tao. So, habang tumataas yung neuroticism mo, mas nagiging emotional ka daw. Neuroticism is a bad, and so, kapag bumababa is nagiging stable ka naman. So, pag bumababa yung neuroticism mo is nagiging stable ka, and mas sabi nila na yung mga may matataas daw na neuroticism or N score is sila yung mas prone sa mga sakit mentally. And the in naman or extroversions, it is tend to be affectionate, jovial, talkative, joyous, and fun-loving. In contrast, low E score are tended to be reserved, quiet, loners, passive, and lacking the ability to express strong emotion. So, ito yung dalawang pole or yung introversions and extroversions. So, kapag mababa or wala kang trait sa mga nabanggit, meaning mababa yung extroversion mo. And next is yung psychotism. Yung psychotism is kung kaya nasasabi na meron kaya naging siyang 5. Yung psychotism kasi is hinati siya sa tatlo, which result the openness, agreeableness, and consciousness. So openness is to experience the distinguished people who prefer variety from this, who have a need for closures and who gain comfort in their associations with familiar people and things. So may mga magkaroon ganitong traits daw is open sila sa ideas, sa mga bagong knowledge, and open sila sa lahat. Sila din yung mga taong marami din tanong, kasi nga gusto nila ng mga bagong ideas or mga bagong knowledge. So, people who consistently seek out different and varied experiences would score high and openness to new experiences. And din yung mga babang openness naman, of course, is sila yung mga taong close-minded. So, yun nga, may tinatawag diba tayo mga open-minded and din yung mga close-minded. So, next is the agreeableness. So, it is skill to distinguish soft-hearted people from reckless ones. People who scored in the direction of agreeableness tend to be trusting, generous, yielding, acceptant, and good-natured. So, kung yung agreeableness mo ay mataas, so, masasabi na ikaw yung masamang tao. And dahil ikaw ay socially oriented. So, siguro maaari itong mag-result din sa, or pwedeng matawag din itong as a people person or people-pleasing person. So, yung sobrang pagka-generous mo, yung madali kang magtiwala, madali kang maakta sa ibang tao, or madali kang, magtiwala, or masyado kang generous sa ibang tao. So, nagiging people pleaser ka. And sometimes, being people pleaser is, let's say, minsan nagiging bad din siya. So, nagiging bad din siya sa sarili, sa personal din. Meron kasi mga tao na napipilis natin na halos wala lang natitira sa atin. Next is conscientiousness. It describes the people who are order-controlled, organized, ambitious, achievement, focused, and self-discipline. In general, people who scored high on C are hardworking. So yung C is a consciousness, are hardworking, conscientious, punctual, and persevering. In contrast, people who score low in consciousness tend to be disorganized, negligent, lazy, and aimless are likely to give up when a project becomes difficult. So, yung may mga matataas sa consciousness, or sila yung mga very organized na tao, and good to achieving yung mga bagay-bagay. And mostly, yung mga may matataas na ganito is sila yung mga prone sa stress din, due to the pressure that you feel in the work, and etc. So, these two psychotism is interact each other. So, sa next slide is, dito niyo makikita yung mga traits or yung five factor traits or 5 factor traits. So, nandiyan yung neuroticism, extroversion, and openness, agreeableness, and consciousness. Next is units of the 5-factor theory. The 2R components, rectangles, are basic tendency and characteristic adaptations, including self-concept. The 3 peripheral units, ellipses, of the modal or biological basis objective biography and external influences. So, in the next slide, makikita natin yung illustrations ng core components of personality. But before that, I will discuss the definitions of each component. So, we have the definition of the core components of personality. Core components of personality is the central or core components are represented by rectangles, whereas the peripheral components are represented by ellipses. Dynamic process and indicate the direction of the causal influences. Next is basic tendency. Basic tendency as defined by Macri and Costa noong 1996. Basic tendency are one of the central components of personality, along with characteristic, adaptation, self-concept, biological basis, and objective biography and external influences. Characteristic adaptation is that it's acquire the personality, structures that develop as a people adapt to their environmental and include habits, skills, and beliefs. Macri and Costa explain the relationship between basic tendency and characteristic adaptation, saying that the heart of their theory is the distinction between basic tendency and characteristic adaptation, and precisely the distinction that we need to explain the stability of personalities. Self-concept is actually characteristic adaptations. But it is get that own box because it's such an important adaptation. So the beliefs and attitudes and feelings one has toward oneself are characteristic adaptations in that they influence how one behaves in a given circumstances. So here's the illustration of these core components. Illustrations of core components of personality. So we will see the biological basis or basic tendency. So nilalaman yan is yung oceans or yun yung acronym kasi ng 5-factor traits natin, which is yung neuroticism, extroversions, openness, aggressiveness, and conceptualness. So ginawa siyang oceans para mas madali siyang matandaan. So kapag example nito is yung basic tendency is kapag kapanganak daw natin. So, sabi nila na pagkapanganak natin is may mga nakaseta daw na traits na level natin. Which is yung mga yung ocean or yung neuroticism, yun yung mga traits mo, di ba? So, sabi na kapag kapanganak daw natin is meron na daw tayong ganong mga traits or mga level of traits. And example ito yung, kunyari sa extroversion. So, kapag di ba, may mga kapatid tayo or may mga childhood friend tayo, usually yung mga nakakasama natin habang bata tayo. So, na-enhance na yung extroversion or extrovert na traits natin because of them. So, sinasabi nila na yun daw yung traits na meron tayo pagkapanganak and then habang lumalaki. And then yung dynamic traits naman, or dynamic process, na makikita natin na parang arrow dyan, is meaning yun is nag-interact daw yung influence, nag-interact yung influence into each other. So, yung mga basics tendency natin is nag-influence yung characteristic adaptation natin, which is yung cultural conditions, phenomenon, and personal striving attitude. So, example nito is yung high openness natin. So, kung masyadong open tayo sa lahat, of course, lalo na yung sa mga kabataan ngayon na mas madami sila or sa tingin nila na madami sila yung mga ngayon na generation na marami silang tanong, it's because marami silang gustong malaman and interested din sila. So, sa tingin ng iba, ng mga boomers, is nagmamagaling. So, yun, kung makita naman natin sa social media, yung index ngayon, so, mas maano ang mga kabataan ngayon. And then, yung mga boomers, parang sinasabihan sila na dati nga kami, naglalakad kami, papuntang school kahit sa initan. So, yung mga ganong arguments is, masasabi natin na openness yun. So, mga kabataan is openness sila ngayon. So, and then, yung hindi naman lahat ng kabataan is tumatanggap ng ganong opinion. And then, ang ginagawa ng iba is parang sila na yung nag-a-adjust. So, ang tendency is bumababa yung openness nila. And then, nag-a-adapt sila or nag-try silang mag-adapt ng ibang characteristics. So, lahat ng basics tendency na ito is mag-reflect or mag-i-interact sila or mag-i-interact siya sa ating culture. And then, kapag naman na-develop yung characteristic adaptation ng isang tao, is magbubunga ito ng self-concept. Sinasabi na ang self-concept nga daw is pinaka-important, of course, from the word self, is sa sarili natin ito. So, kung ano yung magiging tingin natin sa sarili natin, magiging anong perception natin sa sarili natin, is mahalaga ito, especially sa ating sarili. So, pinaka-importante itong adaptation daw ng isang tao. Kung ano man yung maging decision natin sa sarili natin, it will affect their objective biography. And kung ano man yung magiging reaction sa objective biography, it will affect your adaptation na mag-iiba na naman yung adaptation mo. So, mag-iiba na naman yung character adaptation mo. So, and external influential, it's culture norms, and yung external influences naman dyan is yun yung culture norms like life event situations. And that's all for my report. And to discuss the peripheral components, may I call Miss Deity Mahalia Esquerra.